Welcome back. It's Dr. Jen Ferboni, better known as DocJenFit, doctor of physical therapy, owner and founder of Gen Health, your one platform for all things aches and pains and just movement related things to help you feel good within your body. Now, today I'm going to walk you through a full little workout that I want you to make sure that you have solid prior to that 6-week clearance. Now, a lot of times we're not doing anything prior to getting clear to work out, which is not great, especially if after you've had a vaginal birth. Sometimes you feel a lot of heaviness, leaking symptoms around movement and exercise. Now, ideally, you're seeing a pelvic floor physical therapist at least by 6 weeks postpartum. Not everyone has access to this. So this is why I put these kinds of videos out. Please note that I also have other videos. So previous to this, I would like you to take a look at those videos from you just got home from the hospital. These are the movements that help to reconnect that core, reconnect into your body, even if you are cleared already for exercise. Make sure you start there. Make sure you have those solid. They feel good within your body. Then this feels good within your body. These movements are starting to reconnect and you're starting to find, what things feel like again within your body. Then going back into exercise. And I'm not even talking about HIIT workouts or running yet. There's other clearance we want to be doing first with those exercises, but this is a really good place to at least start and feel reconnected, rehabilitated in that body. And we're going to do that together. Okay. So the first one, we're going to lie on our back. And this is called a supine march. So again, you've already done my other previous videos. You know how to reconnect with that breath in the core, and that's what we're going to be working on. So you're going to be taking a breath from that rib cage. So I like to put your thumbs on the low rib cage. Feel your fingers here. This is going to expand as you breathe in. As I breathe out, I'm thinking from my pelvic floor, lifting up and in as if I'm pulling and sucking in a blueberry. As I exhale, and rib cage just slightly comes down to meet it. Low back slightly coming down to the floor. Okay. I'm not pushing or forcing or tilting my pelvis. I am really just using my breath to reconnect. Holding this, still breathing from my rib cage. I want to make sure that nothing moves hip bone to hip bone as I slowly lift and lower. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. You can put your hand here, making sure that it's staying relatively flat. So we don't want it lifting and bulging as we're moving our legs. We don't want our hip bones moving side to side. Okay, we're doing about 5 on each side. I'm horrible at counting as I'm cueing, so I'm just going to do about 5 on each side here. Good. Then we're going to go into bridges. So here, I want to make sure that I do not want to touch my heels. This is a little too close, and it's going to put a lot more pressure and tension onto your quads here. Okay. Which puts more pressure into your knees and potentially into your back. So I want you to just be at a comfortable position, not too far, not too close. You scoot it out to what feels comfortable and is about fist width apart from your knees. From here, you're going to press through your heel, ball of the foot, and big toe, pressing down as I'm starting to pull my heels back. And I'm going to use that breath again to reconnect to my core. Inhale, exhale, as I lift. And we're going to start with a hold here. So a 10-second hold. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower and lift 10 times. 1, 2. Exhale on the lift. Tuck that tailbone under slightly. 3. Exhale. 4. Really pulling under. 5. 6, tuck that tailbone. 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, if you can, you don't have to do this. You're going to progress to a single leg bridge, kind of like a march. So you can either press both arms down into the floor as you do this, or at least I like running arms. So opposite arm, opposite leg will lift as I press my opposite elbow into the ground, push, and then coming back down. Exhale. And you might feel like that's way too much. It feels disconnected. You're not feeling it in your core. Now you feel it in your back. Your hip flexors are taking over. If any of these sensations start to happen, then you know that this is a little bit too early for you to start doing at this moment. Okay. So you're going back to the holds and you're going back to just the bridges. You're not yet starting with the single leg work. Okay. Exhale and press. Exhale. Press. And the reason I like to push that opposite elbow down as I'm lifting my opposite glute is I'm going to get that lat glute connection, which goes across my SI and low back area to help create a little bit more stability in that pelvis. Okay. Exhale. Great. Then we're going to go on and we're going to go into a cat-cow. So I'm going to come up, flipping it around. And we're going to just start with a simple cat-cow, just so that we find where that neutral kind of center position is for my own body. So I'm just going to do about 5 here, really focusing a lot rather than directly into my upper back. I'm kind of all the way down into my pelvis and into my low back. That's often missed when we're doing cat-cows. Now find that center point. And from here, I'm going to push my fingers into the ground, tuck my toes, and I'm just going to do a deep breath in, exhale, pulling from that pelvic floor. Notice that my spine and my pelvis does not move. Inhale from that rib cage, exhale. And this is where, if this is feeling connected, you're feeling good and supported into that core, you're pressing into the ground, try to do that same breath by hovering the knees. Inhale, exhale. Again, notice nothing moves. Inhale, exhale. If you need to, you can come down to the ground on between each one. Inhale, and then exhale, lift. Return to the ground. Inhale. Exhale, lift. We'll just do 5. So different areas and levels that you can starting just with your knees completely on the ground, making sure nothing lifts, making sure you can feel that connection to the core. Next level would be exhaling, lifting and hovering those knees, inhaling, return to the ground. Exhale, lift and hover, exhale, return. And then the last level is just holding it the whole time for 5 breaths, hovering those knees barely off the ground. It's not a huge hover and the spine and back should not move. Now I'm going to bring in a chair for the last 2 exercises. Okay, for the last 2, I'm going to use a chair, but you just want to make sure that you have something stable. So I actually started this at week 2 at the edge of my bed. Okay. So you just want something that your arms can kind of come to that supports you. And I started at 2 weeks postpartum because I have a toddler. And there are times that I'm going to be picking things up off the floor, bending, squatting, moving a little bit more than I was in week 1. So ideally you're starting this around 3-4 weeks. People are around the house to help you. You're not doing a whole lot, but if you are, this is something that is just going to help to reconnect the breath with the movement. So we're not starting to already compensate through the knees or the low back. Okay. So hinges is something we're going to have to get back into. So moving from the hips, you want to inhale around that low rib cage. So I'm going to inhale here as I come back. When I think about a hip hinge, something that really helps people understand where you're moving is wrapping those thighs in toward each other, almost like, and you can do this with your hands too. Wrap your hands in and go back here. And that's going to help so that you're moving more from and opening up the back of that pelvic floor, really hinging and stretching in those glutes. You want this stretching and moving rather than the back. Okay. So, and I'm going to use a surface as I inhale, coming into that exhale, push down in the feet, push down. And use your hands slightly if you need to help lift you. Inhale along that low rib cage. Exhale, push from the feet and push from the hands. Inhale, push down. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. exhale. And when you do a deep exhale, the core does wrap around the entire front and back of the body. So you might feel a little bit of your back working, but the idea here is that we don't want the back lifting and we don't want the back initiating the drop. Okay. And so that's why I talk about so much of keeping this position. Now, similar thing with the squat. Come out to a comfortable position that you're going to be squatting and bending and doing things around the house. Hold on to that stable surface and inhale around that rib cage, bending from the knees and the hips at the same time. So a lot of people, when they do squats, they start to stick their bottom out too much. You're going to get a lot of low back tension that way. Okay. So I want the knees and hips to bend at the same time. Inhale from that rib cage. Just go as low as you feel comfortable. Push from those feet. Use your arms. Exhale. On that exhale, initiate that exhale before you even start to stand up. This is going to help to gather that pelvic floor with the core prior to even standing. So inhaling on the way down, bending both. Exhale, push. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Good. And hopefully you start to find that better connection. And we're really exaggerating it here because I want you to not have to think about it so much when you're going around and doing things. I want you to automatically be supporting your pelvic floor, be supporting your low back without having to think about it. So that's why we hammer it in so much now. Now, if you are looking for a plan to safely get back into movement and feel reconnected into your body, I love our full body low impact plan. There's 3 phases to follow. This is the plan that I start myself immediately postpartum when I'm ready to return to exercise. And we're going to have deep core retraining. We're going to have really a focus on form when it comes to movements and exercise. The workouts are 30 minutes, so you can do it during nap times. You can do it at home if you have dumbbells or resistance bands, or you can go to a gym. I highly recommend starting with this program for any mama postpartum or even during pregnancy because it's really going to help to reconnect that body fully, and you're going to feel so much more supported if you go back to heavier lifts after this. So I highly recommend you can use code OPTIMAL. You'll start your first month for just $20. You get a full 30-day program, and I lead you through cueing just like I do here, but so much more in exercises, full workouts, core, mobility, muscle activations to help you reconnect and feel good within your body. Don't forget, if you love what you're learning, I have so much more in stock for you. So hit that subscribe button, check out the other videos I've done in the past, and leave any comments of any suggestions that you have for videos in the future. And I can't wait to help you feel incredible and amazing within your body.